Welcome to Voices in ChAInge, a new series of short audio-only interviews from the Medium, a Substack publication. I am Andrew Rosen, the founder of Parkour LLC and the author of the Medium. This is the 11th of 12 short interviews, each about 1.5 to 5 minutes long, that were all recorded on March 26, 2025 at the On Discourse AI Transformation Summit in Midtown New York City. The 12 guests were selected from 100 participants representing every C in the suite. They offered a variety of answers to a simple question. What is a recent market signal or development in AI that forced you to rethink a key business assumption? In today's episode, I speak with Trevor Sumner, the CEO of iGenie.ai, an AI consumer insights platform that empowers leading brands and retailers like Kenvue, Unilever, Bayer, Clorox, and Coca-Cola to identify the next big thing faster, cheaper, and better.
My name is Trevor Sumner. I'm the CEO of iGenie.ai.
And so tell me about a market signal that has, a market signal that has fundamentally changed or challenged a key business assumption of yours.
So we're upending the consumer insights industry, which traditionally has relied on surveys, right? You wouldn't believe literally tens or hundreds of millions of dollars that J&J or Procter & Gamble spend on surveys. And these surveys are completely biased. They're slow. They take weeks to produce, and they're inaccurate, right? So, until now, with the cost coming down, the ability to process really large volumes of data, it's much better to, instead of asking people to talk to you because they're uncomfortable doing that. I don't know. When's the last time you filled out a product market survey? When are you gonna take $35 for 2 hours of your time to do a focus group? Right. And if you're not doing it, who are the people in there, right? So, but everybody's willing to talk about companies, right? So we talk about them on Facebook, on Instagram, on review sites. We also talk about it when we Google. We do a Google search. So what iGenie does is it basically processes tens of billions of Google searches, social posts, videos, transcripted, Reddit, etc. And we can synthesize that using AI into cogent and predictive analytics. So we can tell you what the trends are in the market by ingredients and skincare, what people think about your brand equity. Like you launch a marketing campaign, it may be successful, but it's eroding your sense of premiumness and price, or your customer loyalty, or your sense of product superiority, things like that. And we can basically do that in enough real time that you can actually change your marketing campaigns. We can look at competitive research. We can tell you for every single one of your SKUs across every one of your retail partners, like what's driving good or bad reviews. Oh, it's the packaging. Oh, the people are complaining about it's too oily, it's the fragrance, or things that are out of your control like counterfeiting. So you can see that counterfeiting is a big issue on Amazon in your category, things like that. And then lastly, we can even take the full universe of ideas using Gen AI. We'll generate hundreds of thousands of product ideas, every combination of ingredient and promise and format. And then we can score them with our analytics to say, here are the ideas that are unique and will actually get traction, and we can size the market, and AI can do all of that. So usually that process of innovation takes 12 to 18 months. By that time, you probably missed the trend already, which is why you see all these big CPGs buying these small direct-to-consumer companies, because they can't do it fast enough internally to catch the trends. Now we can go from 12 to 18 months to 2 to 3 months. And so, to me, it's about the fact that we've been relying on this, kind of very personal survey data that's, small scale and biased. And now, for the first time, we can open up literally tens of billions of data points, be able to process that data in a reasonable amount of time, at a reasonable amount of cost, to be able to run Gen AI that's even better than natural language processing, to characterize all the different types of posts, what type of emotions are being said, positive, negative sentiment, but also specific issues, clustering of those issues in meaningful ways, and then even all the predictive analytics to say these are the things that will create success in the future with a really high degree of, reliability. So we've got this brand equity score that is about 0.75 correlation, that's really high, about what market share will be 4 months from now. So we could tell you where the market's going in 4 months. I want to sell that to hedge funds, right? That's my next thing, right? But it's really amazing to take so much noise and synthesize it into data when it's an unstructured language and emotions from humans. And that's the cool part.
And so why does it matter?
Why does it matter? because 90% of product launches fail in CPG. 90. That's how bad it is. And we can make that a lot better. The thing that the product is, we're working with the company, Clorox, Sure. Clorox. They said, well, how good are these ideas that you're coming up with? So they tested 10 of our ideas against 20 of theirs, internally sourced. Then they consumer scored it. 9 of the 10 top ideas were us. And they're like, oh my God, we can make decisions with data without human bias. And it's like, okay, this is just a better way, right? And then you can detect product issues. You launch a product, we can tell you people are getting rashes, or your hair care isn't good for curly hair or African American hair, or we can really diagnose it so that you can understand and make decisions a lot faster, because all of our markets are getting more competitive. All of our markets are forcing us to make decisions faster. The faster we can take these pieces of information, get in front of you with not just here's the what, but also here's the so what and here's the now what. So you can go from information to true insight to action plan faster than ever before. And I don't care what industry you're in, more agile decision making that's more informed with higher success rates makes a lot of sense.
And so I'm going to ask the question I already know the answer to, which is, are you bullish or bearish?
Bullish?
Yeah.
How could you tell?
All right, thank you. This was an episode of Voices in Change, a new series of short audio-only interviews from the Medium, a Substack publication from Parkour LLC.